Denis MacShane, who's the UK's former Minister of State for Europe. Thanks so much for coming on the programme. We've heard that the Prime Minister is comfortable, stable and in good spirits, and we hope he stays that way. But I want to ask you, right now, at such a sensitive time for the country, what should be the role of the opposition, of the Labour Party?
The new leader of the Labour Party has made it very clear that he's supporting the government, and there are questions that should be asked of individual ministers because we still don't have enough personal protective equipment for the doctors, the people dealing with the patients in the hospitals and in many other areas, and so on, but not in a partisan way. Sadly, Parliament was suspended by Mr. Johnson a couple of weeks ago, and the press briefings, you're just seeing him coming out to do one on the screen. They've been very, very vapid, with journalists never asking or not being allowed to ask follow-up questions, and everybody agreeing with the Prime Minister on the platform. So we do need tougher questions to be asked, but I've no doubt Keir Starmer, who's a very different type of leader of the Labour Party, will be very, very responsible indeed.
And your assessment of why nurses, doctors, people on the front line don't yet have that personal protective equipment. I've been following these press conferences from Istanbul almost daily, and I don't understand. Explain to me and to so many people that wonder why the NHS people are suffering so much.
There was a giant pandemic exercise under the auspices of COBRA. That's a British Cabinet Office organisation that does simulations in 2016. And they said this is exactly what should happen. These are the resources we ought to be stockpiling. But nothing was done. As you know, we've had 10 years of austerity ideology and economics in this country with the NHS underfunded. But the other thing that worries me is we're now learning that Taiwan, which has very good contacts with China, told the World Health Organization at the end of December there was an epidemic outbreak in Wuhan. The WHO didn't tell anybody, didn't put out an international alert until the 30th of January. On the 8th of March, fast forward, Boris Johnson and his girlfriend, expecting his baby, went to a great rugby game between England and Wales, one of the great sporting events of the year. And a couple of days later, the Cheltenham Racing Festival started with 250,000 people all crammed in, the way you are in a race to see who wins. And it wasn't until the 23rd of March that we went into lockdown. So when all this is over, and Godspeed of swift recovery to Boris Johnson, we will have to have a very big inquiry on why so many mistakes were made.
Indeed. We'll have to leave it there. We've run out of time. Denis MacShane, thanks so much for your time here on TRT World's NewsHour.